perfect place, huh?
Hello, I'm Pietro Majnoni, and he's Cesare, my son. We are owners and producers in Tuscany, halfway between Siena and Florence. We manage a farm of some 200 hectares, of which 20 hectares are for the wine production. A small 10% of the total surface, but 2/3 of our efforts of work, of sales and cost. We are producing organic wine since 2000, and we are very glad of this choice. That is a choice that allows us to work in a good environment and to produce wine that are rather poor of industrial additives. This year has been a curious year. The second year of very dry season. Last year the spring and the summer were very dry. This year also the winter has been very without rains, and so we had a production that was lower of normal. For luck, in August, a couple of rains, important rains, arrived to save a bit the situation, and the plants of the vines begin to work and to go toward what we look for, the maturity of the grapes. With a good level of maturation, we are able to make wine that lasts in the year and that becomes smoother and more elegant in the bottle. We have begun the harvest rather early, 24th of August, and we have finished rather late yesterday, the 5th of October. As normal, we have harvested very slowly because we appreciate the different level of maturity of the grapes. With the grapes that are harvested in a first period, in the first part of the harvest, we make simpler wines. This is our dog. With a turtle, probably. And we make simpler wines, and with the grapes that are harvested later in the harvest season, we make wine that can have a bottle perspective of improvement. This is what we are doing in the last 20 years. So we produce 3 levels of wine, a basic Chianti, a Chianti Superiore, and a Chianti Riserva, and the second two, the last 2 wines, the Superiore and the Riserva, are harvested, are made with grapes that are harvested in the second period of the vendemmia. Since a couple of years, we have opened our farm to tastings and visit of a very nice house where we are placed. And this is thanks to Cesare, because I'm rather a beer, and I was not so dedicated to an incoming politics, and of this matter can tell something more Cesare.
So we are facing now the climate change. Every year is drier, we have a longer drought, much more stronger rains, and these are the main worries I have now taking over on the farm management. So the answer have been the first economical, so opening the farm to tourism and direct sales, to increase a bit the profit on that normally traders do, and trying to increase the organic matter percentage in the soils. That for me is another very good answer to these those problems. And we are trying different various techniques to do that. So we are participating in different projects in which we try to give some compost, use different machineries, reduce the intervention in the fields, and those two things are the main things I'm trying to give my contribution to the farmer right now. And other things could be after probably changing exposition of the vineyards, because until now all the vineyards have been planted the southern exposition. Now we're starting putting everything in northern exposition, and at some point maybe even changing the varieties we're planting down. Because when we plant a vineyard, we normally think to use the plants, to work with the plants for at least 40 years. So we don't know what is going to happen in the next 40 years, so we have to do some prevision about it. For the rest, I'm trying to bring some of the knowledge I had in my travels and in my experience in different cellars around the world. So we've been enhancing a bit the hygiene protocols. We've been trying to reduce the problem derived to bacteria and other kind of yeast that can make problems in the wine.
And I can say that working in two persons is much better than working alone. Yeah. Also because I'm becoming older, and so I believe that it's very important to have a younger energy, because also in the wines you can feel a bit the personality of the persons. So I don't want that our wines becomes too old-fashioned.
I'm continuing with the productive philosophy. So ours is a traditional farm. We are always have transformed varieties, local varieties. We try to do it most naturally we can. My father has been doing as a pioneer around the area, looking at the vineyards for the wine production, so trying to have the most healthy plants he could. Now we are focusing more on soils, as science is doing, even if still a lot of relationship, a lot of different things happening there are unknown, but it's where I'm focusing more. But surely I don't want to change the perspective and the philosophy of production, just to bring some new input, new knowledge that the science are giving us, and by techniques and seeing other kind of methodology of works.
Because we are 5 generations of before my father, my grandfather, my grand-grandfather were most landlords. They were not wine producer. My father has begun to make the passage from being landlords to wine producer. I have arrived here and I was fully wine producer, not landlord, and he is second. But we also, as landlords, they made important intervention, like the cellars where we are working have been made by my grandfather. So we have a lot of space as it used to be in the past. Now the spaces normally are much tighter. So we are in a tradition, but that is moving fastly. And so we wish that all this experience is appreciated with our wines also in Norway. My name is Peter, you know. Peter has the case.
Yes, San Peter.